Hello, everyone. Hello, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome. Welcome to our second podcast of the year. Welcome from wherever you are joining us from. You are very welcome. Many people think success is about working harder, but what if the real difference is the people and the community who walk with you along the way? Once again, welcome everyone to the Breaking Through Community and Conversations. Thank you so much for being here. I am Marian Amoa, author of Breaking Through the Immigrant's Handbook for Thriving in the American Workplace. And in this community, we share real stories, practical wisdom, and honest conversations to help you thrive at work and in life. January is National Mentoring Month, and all month long, we started last week, we have been exploring how mentorship supports our journeys, especially when the road is not straight, not clear, not easy. Today, I am deeply honored to be joined by a dear friend and brother who embodies what perseverance, mentorship, and community can truly make possible. Well, Ishmael, welcome. You have lived a powerful and honest journey as an immigrant from Ghana. And as we often say, no one is truly self-made. Your story reflects the many people who believed in you, guided you, and supported you along the way. You experienced seasons of transition, from working in fast food to driving a car and back again, and moments that could have discouraged anyone. Yet, you were not discouraged. You stand here with a story of growth, resilience, and purpose. Today, I'd love for you to slow down and honor that journey. Not just where you are now, but who you have become and where you are headed. So, welcome. First of all, for those who don't know you, I'd like for you to introduce yourself. I know that this is about your third visit in our community. But can you introduce yourself in your own words and share one fun or surprising fact about yourself?
All right. Thank you, Marian, for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. And I thank God for your life and the great things that you are doing. Yeah, so a little about me. My name is Ishmael Seshie, married to Gloria. I have 4 kids and currently work as an IT, a database administrator, IT, and then also do some small business on the side. Fun fact about me, I am a super Ravens fan. Yes, we did not make the playoffs, but I love Ravens. And I mean, for somebody who has lived in Maryland my entire life in America, the only team I know is Ravens. So that's a fun fact about me.
Whoa, go Ravens.
Yeah,
Go Ravens. For
Ravens,
those of us
yeah.
in Maryland, and if you're not in America, Ravens is our football, not soccer, football team here. All right. Thank you, Ishmael. Honestly, I'm very grateful that you have joined us today. So let's dive into our conversation. When you look back on your journey so far, and I say so far for a reason, what moments stand out as a turning point? The moment when something inside you shifted.
Yeah, thank you for the question. Yeah, I would like to say that this kind of a lengthy answer, but I will do my best to just say a few. So it all started when I was in college in Ghana, and then normally we used to go to UK, Europe to work and then come back during the vacation and then come back. And then I was working at a very nice computer firm, not doing computer work, but we were in the warehouse, the manufacturing, the assembly firm. And just a month before I was to go back to Ghana, I was laid off. And it changed everything. Now looking for a new job with all the issues that I was dealing with was so frustrating. So I said, you know what? Should I start working like a full-time working? I'm going to look for something that is layoff proof.
Mm.
All right. So that was my determination. Now, fast forward to America. We moved into America, and okay, let me lay this foundation. So we started coming to America in 97. And then in 97, we will come and then go back. And then 98, we came and then go back. And I was working so I worked at McDonald's, I worked at Dunkin' Donuts, I worked at KFC, I worked at Target.
Oh, wow.
I worked at all these places. And it was okay because I was just, coming and then just a few, 2, 3 months, go back. So it was nice. It was okay. But when we finally decided to settle in 98, I wanted to look for a job that, so I got a warehouse job, which, I mean, at that time, it was a pretty good job. And just 2 weeks before our son was to be born, I was laid off again. And I mean,
Sorry.
that was I mean, in fact, it changed everything. So I was determined that, you know what, whatever I do, it has to be a layoff proof job. I can't do this,
Ishi, can you pause? You have all the time. You said 2 weeks before your son was going to be born, you were laid off.
Yes.
Did you let them know that you were expecting a child, or it didn't really care?
No,
It didn't
they
matter.
don't care. I mean, they are laying everybody off. Who cares whether you have a son, a twin? Who cares?
Or triplets.
Or triplets, who cares? Right?
Wow.
So those really shaped me. It got to a point that I was determined, okay, so the best career path was to go into IT. As far as I was concerned, I believe that IT will be the
layoff proof.
Yeah, bulletproof or layoff proof job. So I was going to go into IT. But how to get in was the challenge that I believe that we're going to talk about soon. Yeah.
Okay. So these experiences shifted something from you. You determined that you were going to, when you start, on your career path, get jobs that were at least layoff proof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And even if I may add, it's even with that, I also learned that even in the companies that you think that it is layoff proof, there are certain things that you have to do to make sure that that irrespective of what happens, you know what, either they will keep you, or they will the people that you are working with, your bosses, will help find you a better opportunity.
Yeah.
All right. So if you don't learn that, anything that comes, you'll be the first to go. Yeah. And I learned that. So that was another way that also kept me in my job. I would like to say that since that time, any job that I've worked at, if I have left that place, it's because I made the decision to leave. Not because there was one time there was the company that I was working for were outsourcing, but I was among the few people who were left to help with the outsourcing process until I decided to leave.
Wow.
So I just wanted to add that. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for adding that. Just what is coming to mind is somebody said, no regrets in life, just lessons learned.
That's right.
Those experiences helped you form and take some major decisions concerning your career. Thank you for sharing. Okay, I know that in the initial and the introduction, I said that self-made. People say they are self-made. Some people say they are self-made, but we all know that it takes a village. Truly, truly, I believe that no one can say that they made it all by themselves. Now, who are some of the people who saw something in you before you fully saw it in yourself, who have supported you along the way? I call that transformation stories. Please take your time. Everyone wants to hear your story. The stories, the transformation stories that you have, take your time and share with us. Take us on your journey. Now, if you're just joining us, thank you for joining us. Tell us where you are joining us from. We'll give you a shout out shortly and say something. Hello. And yeah, enjoy the conversation. We have Ishmael Seshie, who is sharing his journey and how mentors, allies, sponsors, and the community supported him. Thank you for joining us, Ishi.
Well, thank you for this question. So, if I were to talk about the people who have had great impact in my life, I don't think we will finish today, and we have a very limited time. But
Yes.
let me just talk. Of course, I am of the persuasion that nobody is self-made, right? Because somebody has to give birth to you, all right? Even if you were abandoned, right? And somebody picked you up, adopted you, and helped you, cannot say you are self-made. Somebody took you to school. Somebody helped you. For me, I'll say that yes, first of all, my parents, and of course, God, who saw us through in the challenging, difficult times and all that. And the next thing, just before I talk about, just want to spend more time here in America, but I want to give one of the credits to, aside my parents, my big sister. She developed so much interest in my education that when at that time I was in high school, or we call it secondary school, she was in UK, and I think my education was a priority. And I always say this to people that sixth form when we were about to write the exams, normally we get success cards, right? And friends were getting plenty success cards. I got only one. But boys' school, right? They'll put it on the wall like a table. How many success cards you got and all that. But for me, I was somehow exempted because the books that my sister bought from UK, all right, that most of the science students were using, all right, gave me so much high marks that even though I had only one success card, it was enough for me to be put on top. All right. So I say thank you, big sister, for showing so much interest in my education. Now, fast forward
Can I
to
ask you, was it from the success card you got? Was it from your sister Felicia?
no, she
Okay,
was in UK at that time.
just checking.
I think my uncle,
Mm.
yeah, somebody sent it to me, and that was the only person because I didn't have any girlfriend or I mean, so yeah, and those guys, they had girlfriends and friends. They were sending them, and in fact, some were even sending go to town, buy it, and then send it to themselves as if like somebody was sending it.
Yeah, Ishmael, let me just say to those in the audience, if you don't know what a success card is, I don't know whether they still do that, but those who grew up in Ghana and I'm sure other African countries, you get a success card wishing you like a Christmas card.
Yeah.
And if you went to a boarding school, they will be mailed to you. So just making it clear to people. And if you ever received a success card, put it in the chat so that we can laugh about it.
Yeah.
I think we are aging ourselves.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ishi.
Yeah. So fast forward here. Remember I said I was working in a warehouse, and then 2 weeks before my my son was to be born, I got laid off. And guess what? Because I've worked at McDonald's and all these fast food places before, the quickest and solution was to go back to them. And when I went, they were more than happy to receive me. And in those days, when I used to come and then go, and I was working at McDonald's, it was I was at the register, serving customer service. But this time I've been in this country for about a year, all right? And people know me. And I'm a graduate from Ghana. Then coming to work at McDonald's, I don't think I want to work at the register or the customer service because I don't want people that I know, the Ghanaian community that knows me, I don't want them to see me. So I begged them to take me to the kitchen. They reluctantly accepted it because they knew that I've done this. So it was a training that they had to give me. And I felt so bad. I felt so defeated. I felt so, to the point that when I see the Ghanaian community or friends, people who I thought knew me, I'll be hiding, right? I mean, in fact, that was the main reason why I went to the kitchen, so that only people, a few people will see me or know me, and then so I'll be hiding. But this is where, the mercies of God, that in me trying to hide, God used somebody, my brother-in-law's friend, who saw me there working. I thought that nobody would see me because I was trying to hide myself, right? But he saw me, and then that very evening he came to our house. Now, I like to say this too. So in mentioning the people who have helped me, I would like to say that during the 97, 98 that we were coming back and forth, it was my sister-in-law or Gloria's cousin who never knew us. Okay, she was the one. We came with the DV lottery system. So she gave us the affidavit of support. She gave us everything. She had never seen Gloria before, but she gladly did this for her. And when we came, my wife was living with them in New Jersey, and I moved here to live with my brother, my sister, and my brother-in-law. So also, these are the people who also helped me. So I want to say kudos to them.
Accommodation.
Yeah.
Accommodation.
Accommodation, here, I mean, for somebody to accept you, feed you, help you, take you to places, help you to go get your social security. Remember, they're also working to drive you here and there. It's not a joke, okay? It's a big, big sacrifice. And they did it full-heartedly. They did it with love. We never had any problems with that. And not only that, when I found out that my wife was pregnant, I told them that I want to bring my wife from New Jersey and they join me with them. They glad. I mean, it was not like, oh, we'll think about it. So why not bring her? So they allowed, and then we went to the port authority at that time, Greyhound, picked her up, and then because I was not driving at that time, brought her to live with me. So that is how much they've helped me. Okay, they helped shape my life. Now back to my brother's friend
in the kitchen. Back to the McDonald's kitchen.
At McDonald's. So he saw me, and then immediately came home, and he said, "You know what? I don't like the fact that, like, in a few weeks your child is to be born." No, actually, it was after. So yes, whilst my wife gave birth to our son whilst I was working at McDonald's. And another interesting funny story was that she was supposed to. I had managed to buy a small Toyota Cressida, so she would drop me. She would drop me and then take my son to the clinic. And after the clinic, she came there, and I was so embarrassed. For even though, yes, my son was like day old or 2 days or something like that, I was so embarrassed for my son to see me at my workplace at McDonald's. And by the way, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing if you are working at McDonald's, but I'm talking about my situation.
Your journey.
Okay, yeah, my journey. Because at that time, my colleagues in Ghana who had finished school, You hear, oh, this guy has been employed, he's doing well, he's doing that, and then you come to America, now you can't even find. I mean, it was very, very frustrating. But at that time, my wife, she came very happy. I said, you don't know what is going on, you don't know what I'm feeling. And then people say, oh, Ishmael, is that your son? I didn't even want to say yes because of, so I said, you know what are you doing here? Just go. When my schedule is over, I'll call you and then come and pick me up. Go. All right. Anyway, so my brother, the friend of my brother-in-law, he's now moved to Canada, and unfortunately, I've lost contact with him. He said, you know what? No, you cannot be doing this. So just like the work that my brother-in-law was doing, he was also a cab driver. He said, you know what? You need to come and do this job with us. I want you to come and be a cab driver. And at least that one, I can tell you my story. I've used it to do so many things in Ghana, and I think that you will do well there. So come. And on the day that he said that, okay, it's time for me to renew my license and registration and all that. I will take you along. And guess what? This man paid for the background check, the registration fee, took me to the cab manager's office, and then told him that there was a car. There was a car that was sitting there ready. He told me that he wants me to buy that car to start my work. And remember, I had nothing. But I was so ashamed after this guy helping me so much. He asked me that, do you have the deposit? The man asked for a 500 deposit for the car, and then as I work, I'll be paying him. He asked that, do you have the 500? I was so ashamed that I couldn't even say, no, I don't have it. I knew that if I had said, no, I don't, he would have given me that 500 as a loan, and I'll pay, but I couldn't. So guess what? I had to go to a childhood friend that I knew here in America, borrowed the $500, brought it to the man.
And this was somebody who saw you, you know him, but he saw you in the kitchen.
Yes.
And out of his own good heart.
Yeah, it was my brother's friend.
Your brother's friend.
So my brother-in-law's friend, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Saw a lot of potential in you and said.
Because he knew I was first of all, so the beauty is that we went to the same Opokwari, right? But he was my senior.
Okay.
Senior that, yeah. But he saw that, okay, yes, he's a graduate. Okay. He did engineering in university. So, I mean, why this? He just did everything. And so I went in for the car, and then just I don't know whether it was coincidence or it was a blessing. So in Opokwari, I had we deal with numbers, okay? Like if you are looking for somebody and you mention the person's number, that is what they would do. You mention my name, Ishmael, nobody might know me. But if you mention my number, and my number was AL66, guess what the car, the number was?
AL.
66. No, it was 66.
66.
Right?
Okay.
So, oh my goodness. So right there, I felt like, you know what? God is up to something. Something is happening. I got this car, and I would like to say that, it doesn't matter what you do. Like, if God has a plan, God has a purpose for you, don't be frustrated. Just follow through. Just move with what God is doing. Because I never thought that driving a cab would be my solution or my bridge to where I am today. It was my bridge, truly. In fact, I would like to say that it was one of the most important jobs that I've had in my life. It changed my life. Because through the cab driving, it introduced me to so many things. And one of them is, whilst driving the cab, I met a Nigerian medical student who was in the process of writing his exams and all that. And he told me that, you know what, the place that I live, first of all, let's say I started making money with the cab, right? Money was coming in. I was able to pay the car note, and then I was able to have extra to do that. And I was ready to move out of my brother's-in-law's place and rent my own place. So this guy came, I picked him up as a customer, talking and said, you know what, I'm trying to move out of my place. It's a condo, a 2-bedroom condo. I'm trying to move out, and do you know anybody? And I said, you know what, I might be interested. I talked to, he talked to the landlord. The landlord called me, and then guess what? My first rent, a place to rent for myself with my wife. We didn't have nothing. We had no chair, nothing, but we were so, the fact that we could even rent and then pay our rent was more than enough. And guess what? This one, I mean, maybe I'll get a chance to talk about it, but this property ultimately became my first property that I bought in America just after 2 years. And I'll tell you the story. And the story is that after I got a job, no, when I was moving in, I told the landlord that in the future, if you want to sell it, please consider me first.
Did you have the money?
No, I just said that. I mean, I just started working as a cab driver. I mean, what do I have? Nothing. But I just said that in the future. I thought in the future, right? I don't know how long that future will be. So I said, just remember me. And like 1.5 years, 2 years. Okay, about 2 years. He said, hey, I remember you said you wanted to, are you ready? I'll come back to this story. Now, the benefits of driving the cab, and I want to stress on this cab driving thing because this is what it changed my life. And if you are doing something like that, maybe you think that you're overqualified, but right now that is what you have. I need you to just keep at it, be faithful, work hard, be determined, take advantage of any opportunity that will come your way, and your life will never be the same. You know, I feel like I'm preaching, but I just have to say it.
No, say it.
Now, because of the cab, my wife was able to start her nursing school because now money was coming in. Okay, cab driving, that. But in the midst of all this, I had this mindset which was very wrong. And the mindset was that here in America, if you don't have an American degree, like you don't have to go to like first degree, second degree, or even third degree, or whatever you may call it, you will never get a job in the corporate world, or you never get a high pay. I mean, you can never. So what I started doing whilst driving the cab was that I was preparing for GMAT, I was studying, preparing that. So some of the cab drivers will see me say, you, first of all, you are different, right? Because one of the things is that driving a cab, in those days, there were no GPS. You had to use map, okay? And for newbies, the major struggle was reading the map to go and then pick a passenger and then using the map to take them to where they want to go. But because of my background, it was fairly easy. So people knew that, hey, this guy, he's not struggling as people, because I never got lost. I could read the map, I could do things. So it was kind of, so people, some of the drivers saw me a little bit different, right? And to add to that, I was always in my cab on my free time. When there is no call, we go and park at a place, and then at my free time, I'll be studying. So one guy came, said, I've seen you always studying. What are you studying? And I said, oh, started telling my story of that mindset that, oh, here, so I'm trying to do my master's, and then after my master's, I'll apply for a job. I said, you know what? You don't have to do all that. So what? So all you have to do, there's a shortcut, and the shortcut is to take one of these short courses.
Certification courses.
And I said, by the way, I am doing it right now. And I can tell you, what I know and understand is that once you do this course, you get a job, even the company can pay for your master's, that, because remember that after you you pass your GMAT or whatever, you have
GRE.
to
Mm-hmm.
pay for it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if you do this short course, you get a job, right? That your company can even pay for your tuition to do your master's. I said, really? And this guy, and I want to give a shout out to Apostle Kofi Berchi. He was the one who came, he approached me and then told me, said, he said, by the way, I am doing it now. He said he has almost finished. He's a TA now. So if I want to join, so I just, I was so excited. I was so excited that I went and then said, you know what? And I went, there was a Nigerian guy, Emmanuel. We used to go. I didn't even know that we were going to the same church. He was the one who owned the training school. I joined him. So I started. And again, the same driving the cab. Driving the cab, I was able to finish paying. I paid off the car note in a short time because the man was asking me to pay $300 a month. I was paying $800 a month because every week I was giving him $200. They were shocked because I was working like a dog, right? It was an opportunity that I've never seen before. All right. I mean, if you work at McDonald's for 2 weeks,
Mm,
your paycheck was 360 at that
mm,
time for
mm,
2 weeks. What
mm,
is it going to do? So to have this job where you can, if you work hard, you can make
mm.
money. I was just working out. I mean, work became an excitement, an entertainment. I worked like a dog. And at the same time, I was studying, taking this class, paying. So now I'm paying for I'll spend the whole Saturday, take the class, and after that, I will go home, rest a little bit, and I work all night, all right, to save money and all that. So I did this and it really, really changed my life.
What a powerful story.
Yeah.
What
I'm
a
not done
powerful
yet though.
story. You're not done. Yeah. But I want to pause, hold on, because this thing about the cab driving, I mean, from all the different things you're saying, it was a bridge. It bridged you over to your destiny because you've talked about the courses and all that. And I like the fact that whatever you're doing, do it well, right? I think one of the chapters, in the first chapter, I talk about how we feel and we know that we are very qualified, but because we don't have the family support or we don't even have the knowledge or capital, we sometimes have to take jobs that we are overqualified for. But your story is telling us that even with that, you can do well.
Yes.
And okay, continue. And I think before you continue, let me see. There are quite a number of comments. I need to move
Okay.
closer. So hello from Glen Burnie, welcome. Hello from North Carolina. I see glory to God from Gloria, your wife. Frederick, Maryland is in the house. Make yourself a special brand, Dr. Texan. Adana joining from Maryland. Glad to be here. And I'm looking, I received one hello, I don't know what it means, joining from Greater Baltimore. Okay, joining, thank you. Thank God for destiny helpers. Glory to God. God moves in mysterious ways. God be praised. Stay prepared. Yes, do it well. Whatsoever your hands find to do it unto the Lord. Well done, well done, well done. Ishmael, your story is really sticking and people are resonating with it. And thank you for being vulnerable and sharing, trusting us with your story. You may continue.
Okay. Yeah. So to continue, I took this class, and I mean, it was as if like God has orchestrated everything because when I was in college, my project work was on GPS. Okay. And then GPS using like to make it very simple, we will go to a town, do the survey work, and then when we come, we will use a tool to convert whatever we had on paper to digital. All right. And we were using an IT tool called the SQL. Guess what? My first Oracle training, the guy was teaching SQL. So it's just, oh, this one I've done it before. So even though with all the uncertainties, the fear, the fact that I have used SQL before, even though it was slightly different, the fact that I've used that SQL, the SQL before, it was enough. So the interest, the interest was so much that we finished the class in, I think, 4.5 months. And then within 2.5 months after the class, I got my job. I got my first job. All right. I got a job as a Oracle database administrator. And so that misconception that I had about you have to be do
Be
your
trained in
master, you have to have an
America.
American
Yeah.
was all debunked. All
Mm.
right. I got a job and I also learned more about, because when I got I realized that there were a lot of, and remember, this was the .com era, right? Talking about 1999, 2000 .com era, and the IT was booming. And in fact, every week they were bringing in people from outside, I mean, from Asia to come and then work. But one thing that I noticed was that most of the immigrants or the colleagues that I was working with had a similar background as me. Maybe did engineering, some did history, but they took a short course and then they are in the IT field. So I said to myself, I have a lot of people with similar background, just like me, from Africa, from Ghana, that are not working in the IT field. Why? This is not fair. So it became, so I remember a few days I started working there, I prayed to God that, Father, if you help me know this thing very well, I will help my fellow immigrants from Africa who have a similar background in the IT field. So that was my prayer, and I remember vividly. And guess what? When I started working, I wanted to do my master's, and the company said, we don't pay for masters, we only pay for training. So no, if you want to do your master's, you pay for yourself. But if you want training, and guess what? Within 5 years, the amount of training that I had, right? Little did I know that God was using those trainings so that I will become a trainer. So that is how my mentoring or my teaching, my entrepreneurship or whatever started. So after getting all these training, I just said, oh, you know what? Maybe I should start a class helping people. And to be honest with you, the first one, I think the first or the second, the first two were free. I was teaching people, I gathered people, and I was teaching them. But it
Teaching
turned
them
out that
Oracle.
yeah. It turned out that people, I think the first one, nobody got a job because nobody took it serious. But the second one, it worked really well. And then one guy that I worked with even became my partner in the business that I was doing. And then we started just blowing up. So the referrals. So it looks like every year I was doing 2 classes for initially. So around 2017, 2018, I started and I taught Oracle for about 10 years. Okay.
So you had
Mentoring
a
people.
school.
Yeah, I
You
had a
had a
school.
school.
I
Yeah.
had a school. First, I was doing it in my church, and then when something happened, we did it in my basement in fact, for most of the time, I did it in my basement, and I used to have students. I think the maximum that I had was about 23, and that 23,
Per
8 to
class.
10 of them were per class. No, it varies.
Okay.
The sizes varied, but the maximum that I had in one of the classes was 23, the highest number of students, and about 8 to 10 of them were coming from North Carolina and South Carolina, coming here every week.
Wow.
Not only that, I also had people coming from Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York, Maryland, from all over the place. So that is where my mentoring or the teaching of Oracle or my business. So it became a mentoring thing and it became a business.
Wow.
And God used me to. So I can say that within the decade that I taught Oracle, about 200 students passed through my hands. And if I'm not exaggerating, I'll say that between 50 to 60% of them are working now. Most of them as DBAs, or some of them branches to cybersecurity and all that. So that is what God used me to do during these times.
Wow. So, it has been an interesting journey. McDonald's, KFC, Dunkin' Donuts, warehouse, back to McDonald's, right? And just even looking at, I just want to make one point. I think you made it, but I'm highlighting it that when you went back, they took you because you had a good track record with them. Not only did they take you back, they even allowed you to go work in the back in the kitchen, right? And you've mentioned a number of people who supported you along the way. Your Gloria, your wife's cousin, who had never met her, providing that affidavit of support. Your brother-in-law, your brother-in-law and sister who gave you accommodation, took you around. Your brother-in-law's friend who saw you in the kitchen and advised you to drive a cab and supported you. The person you used, your customer who introduced you to the condo and eventually you got the condo, and the other person who introduced you to, or advised you to take the Oracle class. And you got a job and opened a school, set up a school, founded a school, whichever word you may use, and have helped so many people along the way. What a story. And I know that I want to give a shout out to my friend and sister, Dr. Texan, who is also here. I want to give a shout out. She has written a book, and her book is When Preparation Meets Opportunity. And she tells a story of, her story is also like our story, an immigrant's journey from hair braiding to educational leadership. So you can get this on Amazon, on Seller, or if you want it signed, I'm sure I can put her information in the chat. Well done, Eunice. Ishi, back to your story. And you've said it, nothing wrong if your passion and your calling is in the food industry, fast food industry, do it. If it's in the cab driving, do it. But all these things that you did served as a bridge to where you are right now, right? I want to ask you a question. So working in the fast food industry, driving the cab and navigating uncertainty, I'm sure it wasn't all like you could see 10, 20 years ago. Could you see where you are now? Tell us, what have some of these seasons taught you about dignity of work, patience, purpose, and just community and support, right? If you can speak a little bit about that, or take your time. It's your story, it's your time.
All right, so I just want to go back to the McDonald's that are going back, and then they accepted me and then even allow me to work at the back. Guess what? After I left, guess who went there to work? Through my recommend. I mean, the moment they realized that she was my wife, they took her. So she worked there
Wow.
briefly too. And guess what? A family friend who came to stay with us, and the very day I took her, they they gave her
Accepted it,
what to
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
So I mean, it tells you that yes. I mean, I remember when I was leaving to drive the cab, one of the managers from Nigeria, he said, "You know what? I always knew there was something special about you. You were different." All right. They wished me well, and then said very good things about me. That I mean, he was very harsh. I didn't know that he had all those thoughts about me until that I told him that I'm leaving. That he told me all those things. Now, yes. There were some challenging times. Like I said, I was so ashamed. I felt so bad. But in the midst of all that, I realized that first of all, God has a plan for each and every one of us.
That's right.
Right? And where you start does not necessarily mean that is where you're going to end.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Sometimes when you start a journey from the beginning, okay, before you get to the end, there's a lot of, I mean, if you are traveling, you see rivers, you see all sorts of things on the road. But that does not or should not keep you away from your destination.
That's
I
right.
knew God had a plan for me. I knew that there is something better that God wants to happen in my life. So those challenges were, it wasn't pleasant. It wasn't, something that I wanted to see. I wasn't feeling good. I was discouraged. But in the midst of all that, and then with my belief in God, trusting that God has a plan for me here in America, because remember I told you I used the DB lottery to come here. And for the DB lottery to come, I mean, in those days, about 2 million people will send their applications in, and they will select only 55. All right. So for you to be among the 55,
Mm-hmm.
God has a plan for you.
Mm-hmm.
God has a plan for you.
Mm-hmm.
So even though I never knew that I was going to do Oracle, I was going to be teaching, I was going to do all these things, but I knew that coming to America was for a purpose, was for a reason, and that all I need to do was to work hard. All I need to do was to keep moving. All I need to do was to trust in the process, and God will make a way. So that is how it all happened. And then I don't know if I should bring it in the back. So I taught Oracle for about 10 years. So in 2018, that was when I switched. And again, the cycles of life, right? One of the students there, I think the second batch of students that I taught, he went into real estate. Actually, let me talk about it. Not the second, one of the students from North Carolina. He, I think it was about the fifth or the eighth. I don't even remember. He first uh, told me about real estate, but I tried the process, it didn't work. Then the guy who later on became my partner in the business told me that, hey, he has started real estate and he's doing well. Initially, I was reluctant. It was too good to be true. And then, I mean, too good to be true in the sense that it wasn't like you go and then buy something, but what he was doing was that he was buying properties that tenants were already in. We call it the turnkey. And then, so the first day that you can even buy a property, you will be getting rent.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So how is that possible? I don't. So it took me maybe several months before I gave in, and then I started. By God's grace, I was able to acquire a few properties, and so now I'm not just an Oracle DBA, but I'm
Administrator.
also doing so like where, as you said about entrepreneurship, this is where, so like I'm now I'm managing it myself because not that many. I'm managing it myself, dealing with the renters and all that, and then trying to look for more opportunities to grow. So that is where I am now with respect to the entrepreneurship.
What a journey. What a journey. What a
Yes.
journey. From what a journey. So I know you've talked about this. I wanted you to underscore something about where the classes were not free, right? Did you start free and then build on just for
Yeah, my first two classes were free. And
okay.
like I said, the first one was a disaster. Nobody got a job. And I was even discouraged. But the guy who finally became my partner, he encouraged me because I showed him Oracle to the point that I even was able to get him a job at where I was working.
Mm-hmm.
So after teaching him Oracle, so the second class, it was that, and then he was very instrumental in bringing his friends.
Yeah.
So the friends will come, they will get a job, they will tell people, and then the people start calling me. So
Yeah.
that's how it started. Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever, and also whatever you pay for, you pay attention to, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ishi, you've mentioned this, you've mentioned a little bit about this, that you were very ashamed at some points. But I'm sure looking back, you have learned to reframe that season as part of the journey, not the end of it.
That's right.
Right? Working in the kitchen, they didn't want anyone. Just speak to it a little bit about somebody who has found a job and they feel ashamed about it. Just speak to it a little bit and we'll go to the next question.
Well, I would say that is a season.
It is a season.
Well, and then in life, life is not a straightforward journey.
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes, I mean, if you know a little bit about stocks, it's a upward zigzag. It's a
Ah,
zigzag. Sometimes it goes up, goes down, but it's an upward. It most of the time it's in an upward direction. So don't let that season break you. Don't let that season kill you. Just know that with perseverance, with hard work, with hope, that things will change, and being ready for the opportunity. Sometimes we miss out opportunities. In fact, one of the things that I've decided to do is that I'm not going to miss out on opportunities again. I'm going to open my eyes. Open your eyes. Okay. Yes, certain things are too good to be true. But sometimes you just have to, don't just say because it's too good to be true, I'm not going to pursue it or even check it out. Just check it out.
yeah,
What do you lose if
yeah,
you check it out and realize that it's not good? All
yeah,
right. It's better than not trying at all.
yeah,
Okay. It's better than not trying at all.
yeah. And I like the part of when you said you will sit in your car and be preparing reading the GMA, GRE, and all those things. Just reminds me of Eunice's when preparation meets opportunity. You have to prepare, right?
Yes.
So that when the opportunity comes, you are ready to jump at it. Nice one, nice one. Okay. I don't know whether we should talk about confidence as an immigrant professional. We deal with imposter syndrome. Confidence can sometimes be hard to build. How did you learn to believe in your value, even when the circumstances were not quite reflecting it at the beginning? And then we go to the next question.
Well, I believe that the company that you keep or the community.
Ah, ah,
So I just remembered this guy, bless his soul, one of my good friends. He passed away, I think about 6 years ago. I started the class with him. And then because of like my background with the sequel and all that, he would say, Ishi, the way you know this thing, right? You are you need to work on your confidence. Because the way I see you, and you will say that even look at me. I've started interviewing and people are calling me. And the way you talk about things, I think you know better than me. So it was so refreshing to hear your own colleague, all right, telling you these things. So I said, when he got a job, it was a booster. It was a booster because certain things I was even explain it better to him and all that. And it got to a point he was even using my notes.
mm,
Now he's gotten a job. So why is it that, I mean, what stopped you from getting a job? So one of the confidence came from him. And we said, you know what? And then even to enter from being like a full-time employee, W-2 to 1099,
Mhm.
it was his idea.
Mm.
He moved to another company, and then he called me and said, you know what? I need you to come. You can do it. I mean, this guy believed in me so much that, and in fact, so as soon as I left my first, my first IT job, I was there for about, I think 7.5 years, 8 years. He was the reason why I left. And then I joined him where he was. And that was also my beginning. So like right now, I'm not a W-2 employee. I'm a 1099 employee. So
Okay.
he was the reason why I became a 1099 employee.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that. Thank you everyone who has joined us. Ishmael, put a pin in for a second. I want you to explain 1099 1098, 1099, and the W2,
1099,
so that
yeah.
everybody knows. And I want to read a few comments. Let's go North Carolina. Thank you so much. God has a plan for all of us. Temporary situations are not permanent realities. And somebody said, yes, so yes, so that person must be Africa. Ishi, explain W2 and 1099. And this is also like people who have supported you on your journey. No one is self-made. Go ahead and please explain that. Oh,
Well,
and before that, before you explain, if you haven't subscribed, may I ask you to subscribe? Subscription is free. Subscribe and share our videos and like our videos. Ishi, go ahead.
all right. Thank you. Yeah. So the W2, so if you are employee or you work for a company, all right, at the end of the day, they send you a paycheck, they take the taxes, all the health benefit and everything here, chances are that you are a W2. Okay. And so most and then the next level is that the 1099, or sometimes they call it the cop to cop, right? That you work for a company, you can go in as a subcontractor or semi-employee, whatever they may call it, someone on contract and all that, or you can even have the own contract. And what they do is that you are, at the end of the day, you just take your invoice to them, then they will pay you whatever your invoice is. You are responsible for your taxes. You are responsible for your health benefit, everything. You are responsible for that. This is the simplest way that I can explain it. Now, because it's a cop to cop or 1099, I believe that the IRS system was developed for that. I mean, the IRS system is developed for small business and all that. So there are more benefits. There are more tax benefits when you go the 1099 versus the W2. But I mean, I don't know if I am very qualified to talk about this, since it's more of the accountant's job. But the little that I know, so like I've been 1099 or cop to cop ever since, and I see the difference, because there are huge tax benefit. What you can, I mean, the system, and this is not like you are cutting corners or you are doing any bad thing, but the system is developed for that. The system encourages people to have their own businesses, so there are a lot of incentives for that. So if you have the opportunity to go 1099 versus, the reason why people are afraid to do that is that, okay, how am I going to pay my taxes? What if I don't pay my taxes? IRS will come after me. They are all lies and hey, you get paid, you pay your taxes. It's simple as that. You will do the right thing. All right. You don't need somebody to pay your taxes on your behalf. All right. And then they get all the benefits. If you can do it, take advantage of it. If your company will allow you, take advantage of it. And you will not, it's scary initially, but you will never go wrong. You will pay your taxes. Okay. You'll be smart that, okay, if I'm receiving $100, not all the $100 is for me. Okay. $20 has to go to taxes. You just make sure that it goes there. Okay. You keep the rest and then do whatever you want to do with it.
Okay, good. If you want us to have some sessions on W2 and 1099, please put it in the chat, and just to say that my husband is an accountant. And you can also watch our session with Himilde on finance, from credit to wealth or something like that. Yeah, she also has some very good information. Ishmael, thank you so much. Thank you. You don't know what you're doing. This is very encouraging. Thank you for sharing your story. Now let's go to mentorship. Talk to us about mentorship. What did mentorship look like for you in real life? Not the ideal version, but the lived one. I know the people that have supported you along the way. Did some of you come to you as, I'm your mentor, or it's been the intentional from afar? Just speak to us about what mentorship looks like and looked like for you.
Well, thank you for this question. So for me, there has never been a situation where I said, okay, you are my mentor, I'm the mentee. All right. Or I'm going to mentor you, so you are going to be my mentee. It was never like that. But I had people indirectly mentoring me. Okay. And then one of them I can tell you is my pastor. Okay. Pastor will push
Pastor who?
me. Pastor Fifi, the church that I
Pinty.
currently go, House of Worship. Pastor Fifi
Okay.
will push me, things that I was so scared even to think about. I mean, he sees me doing it, not just trying, but he sees me doing it. All right. He tells you so things like that, I mean, the guy thinks so much about you that you don't even want to disappoint him. So you push and you realize that, oh yeah, this thing that he was saying that I thought it was so remote, it was so like unthinkable, undoable, it's doable now. Okay, so that is one thing too. Also in my career, one thing that I also learned is that I was mentee to some people that they were not even aware of. I was just studying their work ethic. I was just studying one of the things that I saw was that there was a guy that I worked at when I went into consulting. There was a guy that I saw that he was the longest consultant I've ever seen. And he was the highest paying consultant and all that. And different companies will come. He was a subcontractor just like us, but different companies will come and then they look at his rate. They want to get rid of him. That the Fed told him that you get rid of him, you lose your contract. He was so good because there were things that nobody wanted to charge. Okay, he was the only one doing it, and because of that, he was. I mean, we always say that nobody is inevitable, but you can make yourself, you put yourself in a position where that, I mean, you become very difficult to get rid of. So I learned from that guy that, you know what, when people at work, the things that people don't want to do, people are scared to do, master the courage, get it, do it. Be the guy that people will come to solve that problem. Okay. And when there's an email, there's a request on that particular issue, nobody wants to respond. Or normally, when we get an email there, you respond by saying stand by, meaning you are working on it. When nobody wants to touch that, you will be the person who will do that. And guess what? That will be your longevity at the company. So that is, and then they never knew that I was even learning
In them.
these things from them. Okay, there's another guy, my current place, where I'm working now. January 11th was my 15th year as a contractor. It doesn't happen that to as a contractor to work for that long. Different main contractors will come and then go, and you are still there. It doesn't happen that way. Why? Because there's another guy. So I'm the second longest contractor there. And another guy that I met, because that guy too, it was just like the one that I learned from my previous experience. He is there. He is said that he is the go-to person. All right. He is the go-to person. So he's been there. When there was a change of contract between companies, right, at my place, the guy wanted to retire. I said, no, you can't retire. We need you. And we need him. Okay. I always say that I don't know what I would do if this guy is not around, because there are certain things that it's not my side. So we are in different teams, but because of the integration processes and all that, I need to go and then talk to him. And he's the only person who understands this thing from end to end. So I said that, hey, I don't know on my side too, where I think that I am, that if this guy is not there, who is going to help me do the integration and all that on that side? So that's what I want to say. That's another way to learn. And there are people too, those are indirect mentoring.
Yeah.
So like one of my favorite mentors that I've never had any relationship with him was a Miles Moreau. I learned from him a lot. I read his books. I learned from him a lot. And finally, whatever you receive, you have to give back. Whatever you receive. So my thing is that, and I mean, I know I'm bringing in some church stuff in here. I'm a teacher by calling or by gifting or whatever it is. And
Passion,
because of
gifting.
that, yeah, because of that, I love to mentor. I love to teach people. I got to a point. I won't mention the group of people who said that, but they're saying that I was even giving unsolicited advice. That is how that is how much I try to yeah. So I'm always available to mentor. I'm always available. Like talking about this, as soon as I entered into the real estate business, I did a mentoring group, how I did it. Okay. And I believe that you were even part of that. You organized it with some ladies. And then after that, I did that just to share knowledge, just to give it out. Okay. Because of, I mean, so it's a two-way thing.
Yes, we'll
You
talk
allow
about that.
yourself to be mentored directly or
Yeah,
indirectly, and
yeah.
then you also try to mentor
Mental others.
others. Yes.
So I hear you say you have people that I'm just trying to help people. If there's somebody you admire, their work ethics, or they've gone through something and they are successful or
Yep.
they've done it well, you can
Yep.
reach out to them
Yep.
and ask them to mentor you, or you can observe them from afar.
That's right.
And I'm hearing you talk about church community or faith community. And shout out to Pastor Fifi Pinto of House of Worship. You talked about how he has mentored you along the way. You've talked about Miles Monroe that you've never met, but through his books. So you can receive mentoring, indirect mentoring through books, right? And you can reach out, always reach out. And sometimes I think that we as immigrants, sometimes that courage to go ask, but it's either a yes or a no or wait. So reach out if there's somebody that you really admire them and the way they are working, reach out to them and ask them to support you on your way. So Ish, we have a few more minutes to go. Talk to us about how you're giving back, how you see your responsibility to give back through mentoring, encouraging, or simply being visible for someone who is still in the middle of their journey.
All right. Before I answer that question, I just got a text from my wife saying that, do you remember that as a cab driver, was a gun pointed at you? You were robbed and at gunpoint. And then that was true. Yeah. So that's one of the stories that I want to share. So
Sure, go ahead. You have
just
time.
a few weeks before I transitioned into the IT field, it was a Sunday. I was supposed to rest with my family. And I said, "Oh, let me go and get gas money." And then two ladies, I got a call, pick up two ladies. They took me to a certain part of Colombia. And then as soon as they asked me to drop them, there was a gun the guy collected. Fortunately, I had maybe about just 28 because that was my first call as a cab driver. So I had only just about $28 or so. And then they just took the $28 and then ran away with it at
Did you say
gunpoint.
there were two women?
It was two women who called, and then they told me to drop them. So as soon as I dropped them, right, waiting for them to pay me, the guys came with guns, a gun, one guy with a gun. They gave me all the money. The girls opened the door and ran away as if like they were being, but I knew that they were part of that. Oh, I just wanted to bring that in. So
Wow.
can you just repeat your
Yeah,
question
that's
again?
part of the journey. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's part of the journey. It hasn't been rosy, but
Yes.
whoa. My question was that, thank you for sharing that. And I see comments coming through. Today, how do you see your responsibility to give back through mentoring, encouraging, or simply being visible for someone who is still in the middle of their journey or has just even come, and they're, trying to find their feet, or in the system, trying to find their feet? How do you see your responsibility towards them or that individual?
Well, like I said, I mean, a lot was given to me. Okay,
Mm,
and anyone who have received much, it is your responsibility, your obligation to also to give back. So, like I said, I'm the type that some group of people even think that I give unsolicited advice, you know. So I I see it as a big responsibility, and to the glory of God, I think I am trying. I have done and I'm doing what I need to do, and I'm so available to do it irrespective of what people will say, whether it's they call it unsolicited advice, unsolicited mentoring, whatever. I am available. I'm always available. Like I said, when you're calling as a teacher, you are a different kind of a person. I mean, your job is always to show people the way.
part
So
of
I
it.
mean, I am available and more than available to do that. So yes, anyone that is willing, talk to me and then I will do it. And I can tell you that even the some of the students that I taught, they still call me for technical advice, and you know, I gladly share them. And not only that, some called me about stocks. Okay, some called me, hey, what is the stock going? What advice? I mean, different kinds of things. Okay, that I try to share with them.
Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are almost about to drop, land the plane, but the journey continues,
Yes.
right? The journey continues. And for those of you who come regularly, I'm sure, or you've watched our replay, Ishmael was the one of the first, it was the first conversation on artificial intelligence. That was last September. And that is something that he's also embarking on. I want you to talk a little bit about artificial intelligence. I'm trying to, your journey is still unfolding, fast food, warehouse, Dunkin' Donuts, cab driving, IT professional, school teacher, real estate, stocks as you added, teaching. Your journey is unfolding. Talk to us a little bit about the not IT, artificial intelligence journey that you are on. That is part of your journey that is part of your journey.
All right. Thank you very much. In fact, I was planning not to talk about it because I just started. And when it comes to that, I am a rookie. Okay, but one thing that I've realized is that the world is changing whether you like it or not. Whether you believe it or not, AI is here to stay. And most of the things that we are doing, AI is going to take over. And I've been taking some seminars on AI, and one of the things they say that it is not the AI that is going to take your job. AI will never take your job. But guess what? The people who know AI are likely going to take your job. Okay, so here's the thing. Are you going to allow yourself to know AI so that nobody takes your job? Right? Because AI will never take your job, but the people who knows AI will take your job.
Okay. Thank you.
My advice is that, you know what? Don't be left behind.
Mm-hmm.
Do not allow yourself to be left behind. It is changing whether you like it or not. It is here to stay whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter what they say. I saw something on Facebook that really touched me. He said that, you know what? Uh, and I'm talking as a Christian. They said that all the Christians who think AI is devil or AI is that, you will, by the time you realize, all the unbelievers who know AI will come and then take all your jobs. And then that is when, are you going to blame the devil or you are going to blame God? All right. So please be vigilant. Open your eyes. Okay. The everything, even your car, as good as it may be, can also kill you. Okay. It's how you use it. Okay. Let us not ignore this. Do not allow yourself to be left behind. You will regret it if you do. Thank you.
Thank you. And there are so many people who can mentor you in AI when you go to YouTube. There are so many avenues to learn. to
Very
make
soon
it
I'll be
possible.
starting my mentoring process too on AI.
Yes, we have so many
If you are
ways to.
holding, I will just just
Yes,
wait for me a little bit. When
yes,
I'm ready, I will let you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So we all have to grow in. You can find mentors in the AI and free online. And then if you want to pay, please, this is just a small public service announcement. I want to read the last set of thank God for preserving your life. Know that you may be an indirect mentor. Ishi, I can relate. Ishi, I can relate. I was robbed of $200 at the hair braiding store. Can you
Mm.
imagine?
Wow.
I'm seeing Adana. Thank God for preserving your life. Teaching is a calling. The people who know AI are going to take your job, not AI. Oh, I like that. The people who know AI are going to take your job, not AI.
Yeah.
And then I'm coming. That's Pastor Sybil. I see her there. Thank you all so much for joining. Ishmael, thank you for trusting us with this
Thank you.
conversation. You know,
Thank
being
you.
vulnerable and sharing the different parts of your journey. And I know that you have more stories to tell, but let's try and land the plane. So from fast food to entrepreneurship, definitely wasn't a straight line. As your wife just said, even at gunpoint, there were many stops along the way.
Yeah.
Yet you say the journey was worth it, and it's
was
still
worth it.
unfolding.
Yes.
Speak to that person who is just starting or in the middle, or they feel like they may never make it. What do you want them to know? Give us your wisdom, words of wisdom and parting words.
Well, if I may say, this is a scripture verse in Job. It said that, I believe it's Job 7:14, that there is hope for a tree. That even when it is cut down, I'm paraphrasing it, at the scent of water, it will revive, it will come back to life. When the tree is cut down. So what I'm saying is that it doesn't matter. Maybe you are just starting. You came here, you had a big job, you were so honored back where you come from, and now you are here, and then small boys and girls are controlling, pushing you around, and then you are so frustrated. Don't give up. It's a process. Okay. It's a process. It's a process worth waiting for. It's a process, worth enduring. Okay. What you have to do is I have to keep focus. Keep your focus. Make sure that whatever you're supposed to do, whatever you need to do, you are doing them. Okay. If you have to study, study hard. If you have to work, work hard. If you have to play, play. Whatever you have to do, just do it to the best of your ability, and the doors open. Also, open up. Be available. You know, be available. Be what we call it. Be curious. Be inquisitive. Just ask questions. Find out what is going on. When you see people doing well, just ask questions. Okay, ask them. Okay, how are they doing? How did you do this? How can I do it? Okay, and it's not everything that you see. It's not every advert that you see is a bad thing. Sometimes, before you conclude that it's not good, just do some research. And I think that's what people, we just conclude on so many things. This is too good to be true. I'm not saying you should jump into, but at least do a research. Now, with the help of AI, if somebody is saying something you don't believe it, just go check your chat GPT, just check about what they are saying. You will see some truth in it. If you think it's true, if it's true, it's genuine, go after it. And you are interested, go after it. Do not say that, oh, it doesn't work, or they are always coming after your money. It's not true. Even if they are coming after your money, by the end of the day, you are going to benefit from it. All right. I remember when I was teaching, I said that, you know what, this amount of money that you are paying, you may think that is huge. And in fact, to be honest with you, one guy, he told me that he took his 401k. He took his 401k to come and then do the class. But his first pay was more than the amount of money that he paid for the class. So sometimes we worry about small money whilst we are missing out of the big money. So don't do that. Okay, sometimes allow the money to go. I love fishing. That's one of my hobbies. All right, and one thing I've realized is that if you try to catch a fish without a meat or a fish, you will never catch one. So if you want to catch a fish,
Yes.
use a fish to catch it. If you want to get money, spend money on yourself. Invest in yourself. Allow yourself to be educated. Allow yourself to get to where you need to be by just sacrificing a little bit of money, and then things will go well for you. That's what I would say.
Thank you. And don't forget the community support.
Yes.
Don't forget the mentors, right? Ishmael, thank you so much.
Thank you
for sharing your story. Thank you so much for trusting us with your story. It's so powerful.
Thank you.
You know, what today reminds me of is this: success is really a solo journey.
That's right.
It's shaped by people who believe in us,
right.
work with us, and sometimes challenge us to see more than what we could see on our own.
Yes.
And I'm seeing thank you in the session. I'm interested. Thank you. What reminds me again, success is really a solo journey. Our communities, our mentors, our allies, our champions, our sponsors, they will all help us. That's and right. Wherever you are on your journey, please do not go alone. Wherever you are on your journey, please don't go alone. And if this conversation spoke to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs this reminder today. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future conversations. And thank you so much for being here.
If I can say one thing real quick, please, like you said, it's the community. A lot of people have had a very positive impact on my life. And if for some reason, when you are talking like this, sometimes you forget certain things. If I didn't mention your name, it's not that I'm ungrateful. I am very grateful. So all the unnamed people, I appreciate you. Thank you for allowing yourself to be a blessing to me and my family. I'm very, very grateful. So please, not mention your name does not mean I don't appreciate what you have done and how far you have helped me to become where I am now. I'm not there yet, but I know that with your help and prayers and everything, you're doing that. So if your name was not mentioned, please forgive me. It wasn't intentional. I appreciate you.
You didn't mention my name. You didn't mention my name, but that's
yes,
okay.
yes. This is the third time you are inviting me. In fact, I never thought I could even do this. Let me say it. I never thought I could even do this, but you giving me opportunity for me to talk. And not only that, one thing that I've learned from you, let me tell you, is that your love for God, your love for God. And anytime, it doesn't matter.
Thank you, Brother Ishmael.
When I see you making notes, any word that you hear, you make notes. It has challenged me to the point that now I've just decided 2020. I said that it doesn't matter. I will make notes.
Okay,
so
that's good. That's good. That's my brother. Thank you everyone for joining. I'll put the link of Dr. Texan's book in my in the description as well. Thank you everyone for coming. This book, When Preparation Meets Opportunity by Dr. Texan. And if you don't have a copy of Breaking Through Immigrant, the Immigrant's Handbook for Thriving in the Marketplace is also in the description. Thank you everyone for joining. And Ishmael, what a powerful story. The journey continues, and I know you'll be back to talk about artificial intelligence and other parts of growth. So everyone have a good day, good evening, and good afternoon.
Thank you very much.